to my channel. Today's video, I know it's another dramatic tutorial. I don't know, I've just been really inspired to just sit here and just take my time and just do something crazy and dramatic. This is not anything out of the ordinary. It's not something that people couldn't wear out. So what I wanted to do, I had this idea to do a Makeup Revolution tutorial using as many of the Makeup Revolution products that I own in a tutorial, and then doing a sort of collection stash video showing you everything that I have of the brand, giving you my thoughts and opinions and what I would recommend from what I've tried. So I think I'm going to film that if I have time. I'm going to do that today. But this video is a tutorial, and I try to use as many things as I can. I try to slap on as many products as possible so that you guys can see how the products apply and how this brand creates their products, and just so you can get a feel for a new brand. So if you're not familiar, Makeup Revolution is a UK brand, and you can order, if you live in the US, you can order from their site. It takes about a week and a half to get your products, and I think the shipping is a flat rate of $12 or so. They do have some products available on the Ulta site. Unfortunately with that, the products that you can get from this brand on the Ulta website is very limited. Some stores may actually have it in store. None of them around me have it, which sucks because I probably would have purchased everything. And they also have a site that's specifically designed for US based customers that ships to US addresses at a much more affordable sort of flat rate price, cheaper than buying from the UK, but again, you're very limited to what you can buy. So I will list or link all those three sites, and then you can choose what you want to try. If you are interested, you can choose from which site to order from, but there's 3 different ways that you can get their products. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this look. I was kind of inspired by my shirt. It's black with a really pretty like royal blue. So I decided to do a really intense blue eye, threw on some false eyelashes, did a dramatic wing again, and I love it. I think this definitely is very smoky, very nighttime, or a special event. This might be good for some of you. So I just think that the blues definitely make the whites look brighter and whiter, so it just gives you more wide awake. And then of course the false eyelashes, I feel like really brings this whole look together. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and if you want to see how to do this tutorial, let's get started. Alright, so the first step is to apply a light skin tone color all over your lid. I'm using the lightest shade in the I Heart Chocolate palette, which is freaking amazing. And I'm applying that all over my lids, all the way up to the brow bone, because that's going to be my brow bone highlight as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and knock it out right now. I feel like when I do this, it helps with blending, especially when I'm working with darker colors. I definitely can see a difference by applying something down first before applying your colors. Now I'm going to take a light blue. This is got a subtle kind of periwinkle tone to it, but it's more on the lighter blue side, and I'm applying that with a small eyeshadow brush from Sonia Kashuk, and that's going to go into the inner corner of the eye. So just apply with a small detail brush if you don't have a brush exactly like this. Just any light blue that you've got, or the lightest shade. If you're using purples, your lightest purple, or greens, whatever tones you choose to use in place of the blue, just use your lightest color first. And I'm just going to kind of soften in the edges as I'm coming towards the inner part of the eye before applying this super bright, intense royal blue color. This one is a very metallic, sort of like creamy foiled texture. It reminds me of the Makeup Geek foiled eyeshadows, that sort of creamy feel. If you've ever tried those, these feel exactly the same way. So I'm going to take the same brush, I just flipped it over, and I'm applying that to the outer part of the lid. So basically like 3/4 of my lid is going to have this really intense sort of royal blue. And I'm packing it on lightly because there is a little bit of fallout, especially when you use such intense colors. So, you know, that's something that's going to be hard to kind of avoid. So to do that, you just want to kind of like lightly pat the color onto the lid. And then as you can see here, I'm going back and forth just to kind of smooth out my edges. I've got the blue applied to where I'm happy with it. I'm going to take that same brush, and I'm just going to kind of add a little bit more of that lighter blue, and I'm going to blend where the two colors meet so that there aren't any harsh lines. And then I'm taking a crease brush just to kind of soften the edges before moving on to the next step. Then I'm taking a light tan. Again, this is from the I Heart Chocolate palette, and that's going to go into my crease. I'm using a Sigma E25 brush for this step. You can use any crease brush that you feel comfortable using. This is just a light tan shade, kind of your transition shade, But I'm applying this lightly, and the key with this is adding a little at a time. It's easier to add than to take away. So just work slowly and then just kind of build the color gradually as you prefer as far as like intensity is concerned. And then I'm taking just a clean brush to kind of soften the edges as I go. Then I'm going in with a tan shade. This is a bit darker. So I'm more like a mid-tone tan shade. And I'm going to be applying that basically over the lighter tan, and I'm using the same brush. I've just kind of wiped it off, and I'm trying not to get too close to that blue because it's very easy to lift that blue color onto your brush, and I don't want actual blue color into the crease because it's a shimmery metallic finish. I wanted to keep everything in the crease matte, so just work in, you know, small steps. Then I'm just going to go back and retouch. I feel like as you blend, sometimes you can lose intensity of some colors, so just kind of blend it and you'll be fine. Moving on to the lower lash line, I'm taking that same light blue with a pointed synthetic detail brush. I think this is from Crown Brush. Applying that to the inner corner as my highlight, so it's going to be matching the upper lid. Then taking the same tone of blue with the same brush, just applying that, and I did it pretty thick this time just because I wanted to. You don't have to do that. And then a little bit different here, I'm taking a darker blue. Again, it has that sort of foiled metallic finish, but it's a dark blue, and I'm going to put that on the outer corner of my lower lash line. And I'm also going to kind of swing that color up to the outer V with the same sort of pointed brush, and that tiny little brush is going to keep that color pretty precise on the outer part of the eye. You don't have to if you don't want to, or you could use black instead, or like a really dark charcoal color, or skip it all together. It's up to you. It's whatever you want to do. So I'm just going to kind of blend those and add them. And I'm using a pencil brush. This is from Mikasa Beauty to kind of soften the edges, and then take that same tan that I used as my transition shade on the same pointed pencil brush. I'm going to soften out the edges of my lower lash line before moving on. Next, to kind of deepen everything up, I'm taking this matte kind of grayish brown with a wispy brush from Sigma Beauty, and I'm going to start gradually deepening up this crease area, starting with the most color on my outer V, and then slowly kind of fading it into the tan as I'm moving closer into the inner part of my eye. And as I said before, it's better to start with small amounts and gradually add than it is to take away, because these colors are pretty potent from this company, so I would definitely just be easy-handed with it if you're going to be using this brand, or just any brand in general. If it's super pigmented, just lightly add it to where you feel most comfortable with. I'm also going to take that same clean brush from earlier and soften out the edges, and I do this a lot because you want this to be pretty blended, so you know, just take your time, blend it. As you can see, I'm looking away because I have a mirror against the wall, and I'm able to see where I need to add the color, and that also helps because sometimes when you're so close to a mirror, you know, may not be able to see it as you would from a distance, just to kind of see how both eyes look together. And that's kind of what I was doing, just because I wanted to match both eyes, obviously. I mean, who wouldn't want that? So just add and then blend. Then I'm taking the Hypocrisy liner in the shade Baddest Blue, and this is going to go into my waterline. It's a very creamy, bright royal blue. It's a different tone of blue, so it's like 4 different shades of blue that I'm using in this look. And then I'm going to use a black liner to tightline my upper lash line. Any black will do. Using some Maybelline gel liner. This is in black. I'm doing a pretty strong, intense wing with this. Moving on to the face, we're using the Ultra Contour Kit, and I'm taking this bronzy shade. It's a bit of a warmer brown. I'm going to start applying that with a powder brush just to kind of warm up my skin. This brush is the Mikasa Beauty F100 brush, if you were wondering. It's what I've been using lately for bronzer, powder, things like that. It's a good brush. And I'm going to also be doing a little bit more contouring. So I'm going to take the lightest color in this kit that's a little bit more has a bit of a grayish tinge to it, so it's perfect for contouring. And I'm going to be using the Mikasa Beauty F111 brush to apply that as my contour. And I'm not being super precise. I didn't want to have a structured sort of contour with this look. I just didn't feel like doing that, so I just skipped it. And then I wanted to just lightly contour my nose. Again, this is a totally optional step. It's not something you have to do. I just felt like it because I was like, oh, why not? I already have the product out, so I might as well. And it's been a while since I've done this type of contouring, like with my nose, under the lip, and then above my cupid's bow, just to make my lip a little bit more pouty. Little tricks of the trade. And then my favorite step, highlight. Yes, this is the Radiance palette by Makeup Revolution. I adore this palette. And I'm using a e.l.f. brush. I think it's the blush brush that I use to highlight. And I'm just going to go ham with this highlight because that's what I like. So now that we're super glowy and we can be seen from outer space here, now we're going to move on to blush. I'm using this pinky kind of, it's got a subtle coral undertone, but it's kind of like a pinky rose color. Again, with that same Mikasa F111 brush, I'm just going to apply this as my blush. Super pigmented, so I will be going in with a dual fiber brush from Mikasa Beauty, the F200, to kind of soften this out, because I get carried away with blush. I'm not going to lie, it looks a little crazy sometimes, but we can fix it. And then for my lips, I decided to do something very soft, and these are the two shades that I'm using. One is like more of a nude, and then one's just a little bit of a deeper kind of brownie nude. So I'm putting the lightest color on first all over, and then I'm going to take the darker shade and I'm going to apply it to the outer edges of my lip. So it's kind of like an ombre, kind of not, kind of like I'm not really trying, because I didn't want to really go for that sort of like intense ombre look, but just a little bit deeper on the outer parts of the lip. I don't know, I just thought it looked really cool. And then to do something a little bit extra, I decided to take the lightest like 2 shimmery shades from the contour palette to add a little bit of a shimmer right in the center of my lip. Just makes your lips look a little bit more pouty. You don't have to do it. I just wanted to be fancy. Whatever. So that is the completed look. Here it is. The eyes, the face, the lips. I will list everything down below for you. But I love it. It's so intense, but it's pretty freaking awesome. I do say so myself. I love it. I hope you do too. Alright, so that's the completed look. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun doing this video for you all. Please let me know in the comment section what you think about the look, and if you want to see any more tutorials using Makeup Revolution, I would love to hear from you. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, and thumbs up the video and like, and also don't forget to follow me on social media. I have Twitter and Instagram, it's @GlamourByLexi, and then I also have a Snapchat, so I will put my Snapchat username down in the description box so that you can pull me up that way and kind of tune into my everyday life that I don't post here on YouTube. So thank you guys so much for being here with me today, and I hope you guys have a fabulous day, and I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.